intense heat. It doesn't take much for a fire to start. So definitely heavy equipment in this area could easily spark a fire. The fact that we haven't had much relief, although temperatures have gone down a little bit, and Stu was telling us that he senses, he can feel actually the lower temperatures. It does help a little bit, but you know, still it is quite hot out there. All right, Al, you're still there in this neighborhood. Definitely in the last, I would say 15 minutes that we've been talking, I'm seeing less smoke, unless I'm just seeing it from this angle, right? Things seem like those airdropping helicopters have improved the situation somewhat.
Yeah, that is correct. There is definitely less smoke, and the airdrops are helping a lot. I haven't seen any flames recently. I did see them 5 minutes ago, but with these airdrops, it seems that they're hitting their spots and putting this fire out, and it's just mostly smoke as of right now. No flames. Yeah, no flames.
But the big news that just was revealed to us, that this was unintentionally set by a public works employee who was using heavy equipment in the area. You know, we talk about that all the time, right? When you have heat like we've had, it doesn't take much to start a fire, Al.
No, it definitely doesn't take much to start a fire out here with all this dry brush, that anything can start a fire. And once it gets going out here, there's so much fuel for that fire that it can just take off, especially if there's wind and in this very dry heat.
We do have on the phone Captain Steve Consaldi from Orange County Authority. Sir, good morning to you. Thank you for joining us.
Sure.
If you could, I know how busy you are, but if you could just please give us the latest update here on this airport fire.
So the latest update, we're at over 9,300 acres and growing. And the fire has moved away from the communities of Robinson Ranch and Dove Canyon, but it has crested the North Main Divide up that top of that ridge and gone towards Riverside County. Our partners in Riverside County, we're working closely with them. The fire has also burned on that ridge towards Ortega Highway, and then it's moving towards the communities of Majestic Canyon and Williams Canyon and Silverado. So we have issued some new evacuation voluntary orders as well as mandatory, but all those, if you're unsure of those orders, Orange County Sheriff, their website has great information on all those areas, and CODO, just the beginning of CODO is part of a voluntary evacuation, but it's the beginning part. And we just want people just prepare. So if we have a wind shift, if we have large fire growth, that they know what to take. So obviously you're going to take your pets. You're going to take basically your 6 Ps, your important papers, your personal computers, prescription medication, prescription glasses, photos, anything you have, flash drives that you have anything important on, you take those and you quickly get out. When there is an evacuation order, that means it's mandatory. We want you to leave so we can get our firefighters in there quickly to protect and save your homes.
Now, for some people who are hearing the news that there is a mandatory evacuation or a voluntary evacuation order in place in their neighborhood, are they able to, let's say they're not in their neighborhood, are they able to make their way back into that neighborhood to get what they need to leave? Or you're at this point, if you're there, you got to get out, and if you're not there, you're not going back in?
Right. So if you're there at your house and you're evacuated, you won't be able to come back, because then they start putting closures in place. So the Orange County Sheriff, California Highway Patrol, and other partnering law enforcement agencies will come in and help. And so, like, we're up in the Robinson Ranch area. Just a portion of that was under a mandatory evacuation order, and most of those people left. A few people stayed. The problem is if we ever lose power, and if this was in a Santa Ana wind condition, when we have those northeast winds blowing towards structures, a lot of times power is shut off, as well as it's smoky, it's unsafe, and we want those residents to leave at that time when they hear a mandatory evacuation order.
So we're talking about how this fire is threatening communication towers and how vital these towers are when it comes to first responders, their ability to communicate. Can you talk a little bit about that? And also, you know, there is backup in case, let's say, we do lose these towers.
Right, there's redundancy with any type of communication towers. These towers have been up there for quite some time, but it's radio, television, law enforcement, fire, other public works, other agencies use those communication towers. We had a gallant fight out there. So just before the fire even reached that area, we had dropped numerous fire retardant drops all around there. We had crews all night. We thought we did an excellent job of protecting those. But as you could see, the fire quickly ran up towards those peaks this morning, or at some point later this morning, and we had to move some of those crews off of there. So we're unsure. Obviously we can't get up there to assess any possible damage just yet.
Captain Steve Consaldi, thank you so much with Orange County Fire Authority for joining us and giving us some new information. Really appreciate your time. I know how busy you are, and we do want people to know California Assemblywoman Kate Sanchez has requested Governor Newsom to issue a state of emergency for this specific fire. Thus far, 9,333 acres have burned and still growing. We're keeping a close eye on this, of course. Please follow us for the latest information. Go to foxla.com. We'll keep you updated there. And of course, we'll have coverage throughout the day, and you can join us in the evening at 5 p.m. on Fox 11.